I mean, absolutely. Think of it. You know, I hate when they say a bookkeeping, this and that. It's not. It's called, think of it, expense. I use the word expense. Legal expense. I pay a lawyer. He wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer at the time. I pay a lawyer, and he's a lawyer. It's called legal expense. A bookkeeper, without ever speaking to me because she did the right thing, who's been with me for years, marks it down as legal expense. In other words, I paid a legal expense. It's marked down as a legal expense. And they say that's a fraud. What am I going to call it? Did you ever see a ledger? Do you ever study accounting? The line's like about an inch long and 1/8 of an inch wide. You can't write the story. But there is no story. If you pay a legal expense and you write it down as a legal expense, and then they indict you and they go to a grand jury, and they don't use Bob Casella's testimony, you know, they use almost none of it. They didn't want him before the grand jury because he's very persuasive. This judge didn't want him to talk. They shouldn't have allowed certain people to testify.
You know, and Donald Trump was too. At one point, he had turned his chair so that he was facing Blanche and the jury as Blanche was addressing them. Blanche was at the podium, which was slightly turned as well. So it appears that Trump had a clear view of the jury as he was watching both his lawyer and the jury as they were hearing Blanche's arguments. You know, and a lot of this was focused on Michael Cohen, that he, as Blanche put it, was the MVP of liars, the gloat of liars, the greatest liar of all time. Just really trying to underscore why the jury could not convict Donald Trump based on Michael Cohen's words alone, and focusing the jury to other parts of the evidence that he's hoping that they view in his favor, such as, you know, David Pecker, you know, being part of this alleged conspiracy, but saying that David Pecker wanted nothing to do with the Stormy Daniels story. David Pecker testified to that. And so saying, how could this be a conspiracy if one of the catch and kill deals that's at the center of it was something that David Pecker wanted nothing to do with?